could you shortly present yourself? Even if anyone here know you, it's for the TV. Thank you.
All right.
Begin.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Charlotte Martinez. I'm an innovation consultant and project manager, and I was in charge of helping the Heritage of SNCF team to run the Heritage Incubator this year.
Hello, everyone. My name is Frédéric Purgal. I am the CEO and founder of Art of Corner. Art of Corner is a VR content producer, especially in volumetric and 6DoF experience with photorealistic rendering. And my area is culture, heritage, and museum institution, but also heritage for big brands, especially in luxury.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maged Farag. I'm the founder, creative director of 5D VR, a company that's, let's say, exploring all the possibilities with XR in different sectors and different solutions.
Hello, everyone. I'm Fanny Decherf. I'm commercial engineer in Illusion, which is holographic showcase designer, and we work on the heritage and tourism subject for a long time.
Thank you. In the preparation of this panel, we can't find a title. Because I think to summarize 2020 in one title is not really easy. But I like what you said, Frédéric. Annus horribilis or annus mirabilis? So imagine my first question is, which one?
Which one? It depends on your capacity as a company to live this hard period. If you have strong financial capacity, because that's the main resource to keep alive a company, that's it. And if you have, and that's my case, experience and reference, it's easier for me. But I know some partners who have really difficulties. And big company in France, I mentioned Emissive, it's fantastic for this company. So it depends.
It depends. It's the same approach.
So again, the question was 2020?
2020, good or bad? For the domains.
Well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So, you know, whoever survives tough times will definitely grow muscles.
Okay.
And so that's like...
You're alive, okay, you're stronger.
So, yeah, exactly.
And for Illusion,
For Illusion, maybe it was more bad than good, because we have to see the technology to interact with the holograms. But for the tourism and heritage, I think it could be better, because we can see the development of a lot of virtual visits for museums. So maybe this year's I don't.
Yeah, in French, and some people translate. It's not
Cette année nous a obligés à changer.
We have to change.
We have to change, yeah, of course. So maybe it's a good year.
And John, just to go deeper in the question, it's very strange. In all session in Laval Virtual Science today, we try to answer the question: is the domain has changed due to the pandemic? And it's very difficult to have an answer, in fact. Sometimes it's yes, sometimes it's no, not really. But with many people think that, I don't know the word in English too, we say in French a catalyseur.
Catalyze.
Catalyze, so is the pandemic catalyze the transformation?
It did, actually did. Yeah. If we talk about digital transformations, that was a big boost, of course, across the board. Some sectors suffered, working for events, for example, like ourselves. We had a big deal of work done for events, so we suffered in 2020. Of course, tourism was really bad, really, really bad. That no doubt. So.
Yes, I was going to say that to add on what Marek was just saying, this pandemic was also an opportunity. I mean, it forced companies and institutions to reinvent themselves. And maybe what has changed also in the VR world is that many institutions and companies that are not pure players and big industrial groups, for example, are digging a bit into this new way of offering their experience to their audience. And you could say that those non-pure players are going to keep being followers in the VR, or maybe at some point they're gonna enable the industry to make a shift. They're gonna bring something of their own and a kind of new vision to the industry.
According to me, I think institution and museum decided after the astonishment period to go in a dematerialized way. That's the first point. But in VR, you have an headset. It's a real difficulties. So the answer is not clear. So you have problem with cleaning headset. So you have to think about it. But the main point is to dematerialize it. And in that way, museum, institution, or big company go into VR, ER, and also VR chat, because it's perhaps for me the best way to go online, to go on social VR, but you have also to be on headset, standalone headset, as I said earlier. That's my point of view.
And you talk about a kind of fear of technology from people in the tourism. Do you think in 2020 this fear has decreased?
Well, again, they were obliged because they had no other option. So the fear decreased, I think, once they passed this, this barrier of not understanding how the technology can help them, because the fear is just the fear of something that you don't know. And again, the big deal of them, they are actually afraid that people will see the virtual experience and will not come to the site. It's totally untrue, and this is the perception that needs to change. And I think it goes with experience.
You want to say something in the room? No? It's clear for you? You don't have any question about the experience, about the future? No? Okay.
Just one point, as Fanny said earlier, VR or ER company have to change, but museums, institutions, and company have also to change.
Yeah, this is good. It could be a conclusion. Many people have to change, in fact. Well, it's the same conclusion in every session: education, industry, and so on.
Sure.
But okay, maybe I could take another way to ask the same question. What if I talk about XR experience in tourism or heritage or museum? What is the best experience, or how can we do with XR? But how can we do something with really? How can we make success in which situation to see? I don't know, to see object, to touch it, which is impossible. I remember your experiment, and in your experiment, I want to touch the beer of Pompon. I want to touch his head, and it's strictly forbidden in the museum. Yeah. Maybe some people want more interaction. I don't know. If I take the same example, I want to talk to the beer. I don't know. Or maybe the collaborative side, this could be another great example. What is great, in fact? What is success and what is great?
Okay, so
careful, everybody hear you.
Okay, so I'll speak out loud. So the success could be looked at in two ways: bringing the museum into VR and bringing XR into the museum, or so that there are two ways or two aspects of it. There's unlimited possibilities to what can be done on site using holograms, using mixed reality, using very, I think not that far away, you will have 5G broadcasting, virtual characters could appear, unlimited possibilities that I think can be done on site. But again, it takes some, somebody with some guts to actually try something new. And bringing the museum to the virtual world and the museum at large, or the pieces, and telling the story from a new perspective, the actual success will be to drive the people so they are interested, so they will make the site visit to learn more, and then they come back to the virtual world. The connection between the offline and online, I think, will be a key success.
It's perfect.
Perfect. And for the point of view of users, what user want in a museum? Good question.
This is
Yeah?
sorry.
Please, go ahead.
This is what I was going to say, that it's actually hard to create beforehand an experience precisely knowing what the user wants. And maybe a criteria for success would be actually to get to create an experience that serves the user rather than what we're doing for now, because doing otherwise is very hard, which is just creating an experience that then we try to push to the user and we try to get the user interested in. And I think, following what you were saying about technology, I do think that people digging a bit deeper into it and kind of being less afraid of it, now they're also more cognizant of it. And so they're able to say, oh, technology in itself is not like the end goal. It has to serve who I am. It has to help me.
VR offers a large possibilities, unlimited possibilities. But for me, the main point is to have photorealistic rendering, because from this point, and when you succeed in this way to create such experience, your brain tells you that you are like in real life. So it's best way to enter in another world. That's my point that's my main point from 2015. So I saw a lot of very enthusiastic reaction from a lot of visitors, because they feel like they're in real life. They don't want to touch everything, as you said earlier. And after, you have to enrich experience with media, with video, photo, audio. And now we offer very, very large possibilities. It's very interesting. But each time with a photorealistic rendering.
Just for you, Fanny, when you have many experiences now with your devices, what's work?
I think what's work is when we start from the reality and we go further by using the VR or XR. But the started point is the reality. The building, the artifact, but we go further by using the XR or VR.
Okay, back to the user. So let's define the user. The age group, it differs. If I'm doing something for the children, so it has to take some gamification, make him interested in the subject. Because I've seen it many times in museums. People just come inside, they watch, wow. They don't really get the essence of it, and they go. So
it's why we have a guide, normally.
Normally, yes, but again, it's technology can help in that. Technology not only by providing the information, but gamifying the experience and making it more interesting and appealing, from a child to an adult to a researcher. Everybody has his own demand. So I think that will be the good thing, to actually rethink the experience in a way to make it suitable and appealing to different types of audience.
It's very interesting because many people, of course, in previous session, talk about gamification as a very important part of the XR experience. In sport, of course, in education, we understand why, but even in industry, which is not the main domain where you think to gamification. So it is the same for tourism heritage. You have to put a part, little or not little, but a part of gamification to increase motivation to do like that. It's mandatory for you?
Depends.
Oh, it's hard. But where is a good way to do? In which situation, for example? Okay, for children. But
of course. For an experience like the expo, for example, the World Expo with all the pavilions, gamification is the key role to tell the story and to convey, you know, different aspects of the cultures to different age groups. It doesn't have to be children. So that could work. And I think in museums also, gamification doesn't have to be cheesy thing. That it could be just collecting something, meeting someone. It will match the age group. So at the end, it will not just be only for children. Because gamification, again, is just a fluffy word. It's not just a game put into context. It's just aspects of game put into really serious stuff.
The same is for le train jaune, gamification is quite important.
Yes, this is one way that they addressed the actual user journey. But I was also thinking that kids who go to Le Train Jaune, when they're inside the train, it's pretty amazing. They're just like, they're so fascinated by how beautiful it is and everything. And so I do think that adding on what Fanny was just saying, that maybe by gathering, you know, the essence, extracting the essence of what makes people happy in the real experience, we could manage to kind of extrapolate, you know, those criteria and make them like the guidelines to build XR experiences.
One word, I work with very old institutions, so I go with gamification, but slowly, very slowly, because they are known as conservative. So it's now a big gap for them. So next step is more gamification, but we have to be patient.
Of course, we all know that XR is games, in fact. We work with it, but it's games. It's great. We are gamer here. Great.
And one last word.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. It's just, you know, it's an iterative process. Like digital now gives you this ability to try something. If it doesn't work, you can redo it and then position it. So you have to try things out, and then you see the outcome, and then come back and do it again. This is the only way it will get better, I think.
I just want to talk about another point, which is very interesting, is inclusion. Like you say, when you work with museum, tourism, heritage, as you all say, you work for everyone. It's quite difficult to work for everyone. So, have you good practice, good thing to do, magical things? No, okay.
I left my magic wand in Egypt, so.
I think VR is new for everyone. It's really a multi-generational content and device. So I think our content are enthusiastic for young people or young adults or old people.
And do you think it's an opportunity, as Charlotte say, to now things of XR experience, not things of XR experience, things of inclusivity for XR experience, or even not things, in fact. Just make every experience inclusive by design. Is it the opportunity now? I want to know how to share the technology.
It's definitely a hot topic. There's a lot of panels, talks across the board, people talking about inclusion, how to put this as an integral process in the design of the experience. So I think in not too much time, we'll have like a code where you can do stuff, so you'll do this inclusion for this type, and do other stuff that can make inclusion. And I also believe that with the pace that the technology is developing, in few years, the devices will look different. We'll have more devices and different devices. So we're still on the border of a whole new world that's gonna emerge out of this.
And as Magid was saying, the opportunity that we have with VR is that kind of culture of perpetual iteration. So we might not know now how to make it inclusive by design, but if we put some effort in actually bringing that technology to, you know, every group of people that we want to get together and then iterate on their criteria and their needs towards that experience, there is a good chance that we might end up doing something that's inclusive by design. And this is what happened with people with Alzheimer's, and they actually discovered that the criteria for creating that experience with them were just more demanding than traditional criteria in VR. And so by making it inclusive, it was actually just better for everyone. So.
Remarks, question? No? It's okay?
Yeah. Just one word. I work with Paris Musée, and in 2017, they asked me to create an experience for, but in French, un public éloigné et empêché. It's corresponding to this theme and thematics. So think about it, but 2020, everyone was public éloigné empêché. So this reflection, I continue. I begin before 2020, and I continue to create experience for this kind of use.
Yeah, it's in the preparation of this panel, we talk about the meaning of disability, and when you try to understand disabilities, it's very difficult because I can't, as you say, I can't read Japanese. I'm disabled, not sure. I have glass also, and I'm very disabled when I try to look at something. So disability is a concept really complex to summarize. But okay, I want to. We have 5 to 7 minutes. It's okay for you? Not hungry? Oh, one question. Take it.
We should put a prize to.
Yeah, you win a goodie. It depends on the question.
Okay. So I don't know if this is a matter of the panel, but I'm interested to know more about the practical aspect of the project. How long time is it when you work with a museum or an institution to define the project, the scope? How long time is it for negotiation? How long time is it for implementation? How long time is it to be paid also? What is the budget scope? I mean, is it, are we talking about 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 euros or dollars for, what is the scope of the budget you are facing? And what are the main challenges you have in your company on the different projects?
And just for the practical aspect, it's very interesting. Do you have numbers in 2019 and 2021? Is it different for the time, for example, of a project? Yeah, I'm optimistic. It means that maybe in 2021, decision could be easier. But I'm optimistic.
I will begin to answer. My project is kind of virtual tour. It's like a little movie in budget, in time, so 6 months in average. It depends on the perimeter, 1 room, 2 room, a whole apartment, because I'm in charge to define the perimeter. It's very important. For 1 room, you have to take for photogrammetry perhaps 3,000 pictures until 5,000. So you have to be sure what are the main rooms. So it depends on the needs of the clients. In budget, it begins from 20 to 100 euros.
So it's hard. It takes time. It takes time and effort. So I'll tell you our experience from where I stand in the current project that we're doing. We started approaching this project maybe beginning of 2020. And I have to tell you, while we're actually doing it, we started doing the stuff, we did not even sign the contract and receive the down payment. So that gives you an idea. But that's because of bureaucracy. We're dealing with the government, and it's now relatively a big project. We started, okay, so to convince them, we had to do a POC. So we took our staff, we went, we did the shooting for some of the stuff, came back, okay, they like it. To define the scope, what items to scan and how to scan them, this takes a lot of time. And now we're actually shooting. The items are very precious. You can, a sword by, I don't know, given by, there's a lot of them. And very expensive, they're not even, you cannot put a price tag. To handle them, to get them out, and to put them on, you know, to hang them with wire, to be able to shoot them and stuff like that, you have to be very careful. So we were estimating, for example, that we can shoot 200, 300, 400 items in 10 days with extensive work. First problem, the museum works from 10 to 2, so we have 4 hours or 5 hours a day. Second problem, we have to get one item at a time because you have to get the curator to go open and remove. It's very complicated. So there are complications to actual, once you get the project and you're executing it, it becomes even challenging. But you know, that's something we say, it's challenging, and that's why we're doing it.
The question is difficult in illusion. It depends how far we go in the project. That I mean, sometimes it could be very quick for 2 or 3 months, and sometimes it's more longer because we have to develop the scenography, discuss more with the customer and the museum, and make observation to enhance our project. So I can't give you an answer. And for the price, it depends also of the device you will use. And if we are if we have to make the content, or you made it, we have a turnkey project. We can do turnkey project, but we work in co-creation. So it depends with who we work. So I can't give you an answer.
Yes, and I was going to say in that regard that it depends so much also on the mindset of the teams that you're working with, that you can find so much diversity within the cultural field, for example. So sometimes just one, I would say, tech-savvy or younger person within team can change the whole dynamics and make the project go so much faster. So.
But do you think, I'm sorry, but it may be too early, but do you think the decision circle is smaller or will be smaller now? Just to the acceleration of the pandemic, I don't know. Maybe. Is it easier to convince people to use this technology now or tomorrow or in 1 year?
The short answer is yes. Definitely. It's now easier than the day before. Tomorrow it will be easier than that's the technology trend.
Okay, you're optimistic too. Good point.
Trying.
You are not to be sorry to be optimistic.
No, I'm just trying.
I want to be optimistic.
Yeah, I want, but I'm...
Okay, look at the camera. I say it's perfect. Yeah. I'm optimistic.
I'm optimistic.
Just to conclude, if you want, just to get back to the places, it's very interesting to talk about the places, the museum, anything, the monument and something like that, and the difference, or I don't know how, but the difference between the real places and the augmentation. Augmentation could be done in these places, but could be done elsewhere. We can even imagine completely virtual things, like Frederick say, in VR chat and something like that. How do you see the evolution of links between the real places and the virtual one? Maybe in the home of the visitor or anywhere.
I think what you said before is the right answer, is that there is a circle made some numerical collection. The people will want to see it in real world. So they will be attracted by the numerical world to the realistic world. And this is a circle, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. I think it's pretty much it. It's, yeah, I can't add more.
Exact. I think VR offers a continuity of an experience. In a physical place, it would be limited in the time, but in VR, it's unlimited.
Yeah, and it might also enhance our perception of reality, because it might actually show us things that we might not have seen otherwise. And I'm also thinking, when I say that, of people who would, for example, never have set foot in a museum, and bring them to do so, or yeah.
But yeah, just to add a little bit, it's like, you know, I always think of what will happen in the future, the near future, the medium future. I think with the trend, this technology is developing, the whole wide spectrum of technology is developing, things will get better. We'll be able to do photogrammetry with few shots rather than hundreds of pictures. We're able to do things faster, and the technology is more accessible. So while we can see it now, maybe we don't get to that real photorealistic thing that convinces you're there. In a few years, it will happen. Maybe even you don't have to put a headset, because now you'll replace your phone with a Magic Leap or HoloLens-like device that will just, you press a button, so you're anywhere in the world with your friends. So,
so in fact, you will continue to go to the real place, and you will continue to travel, which is a good news for the SNCF. Okay. As I like to ask one last word to conclude. The main point, the more important point you have in mind in this field, tourism, and the link to XR technology. Fanny? No, you don't want to begin. Okay.
It's a difficult question.
Yeah, it's difficult, but you know, I'm happy because I don't have to answer to this question. It's up to you. So
I think the main point is the enhancement of the reality. Go further by the numerics for the reality subject.
okay, we continue to talk about really photorealistic world.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't take.
Don't use the word photorealistic.
No,
one time.
No. I don't take any risk, because I said it earlier. VR, it's a conclusion. So VR companies have to change, and institution, museum have to also to change, and VR help them to change. That's my conclusion.
please, ladies first.
One word, I was going to say... Well, all right. No, I guess that what I take away of this from this morning would be VR as a connection tool between places, between people, and also between reality and the tool, and kind of merging those two universes together.
Again, I look at the future. I don't know, maybe I have a crystal ball. I think the future is very exciting. And you know, it's not only about XR on its own. It's about XR, and then you have IoT, 5G, machine learning, AI. All of these will merge, that will create exciting new cases that we can put into different scenarios and different applications.
It's really a good conclusion. The future are exciting. I think it's a good conclusion for the session. Yes. Thank you for your... to be here, in fact. It's a real pleasure to have you here. Thank you, and this is the end of the tourism session, but you can't go to booth all both to
A16.
try, yeah, A16 and out of corner. A32 and illusion.
B31.
Perfect. And if you want to talk with Charlotte, she's here. Many thanks to all of you. See you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grégory.